Okay, Sir Ronald, in the previous episode, pinag-usapan natin yung the great game, the nuclear powers, the nuclear option. Huwag natin pag-usapan ulit yung ibang nuclear option na minimension mo. But one of the things I found very interesting is, I mean, for me, I mean, I don't know if you agree with me. For me, I think Representative Franz Castro is kind of like the breakout star of 2023, no? In a sense that now she's considered as one of the main voices out there. So kahapon lang I was writing about itong latest sa West Philippine Sea, South China Sea, etc. And one of the quotes that always comes out on West Philippine Sea is si Franz Castro. And very interesting. So there's the usual, we shouldn't rely on the US. But Franz Castro very strongly, sinabi niya essentially, ilusyonado ang China, bully ang China, very strong statements. And then importantly, she said, we have to work with like-minded countries. So that's quite a very interesting thing, no? So she's for multilateral, I don't know, cooperation. And she didn't say like ASEAN lang. So maybe in principle, she's okay working with Japan, with Europe, other countries na hindi lang US, diba? So I don't know, like I think Franz Castro has really emerged as a very mature stateswoman. Pinag-usapan natin in previous episode, she was front and center dun sa Christmas party ng mga opposition people, parang andun na lahat, di ba? I mean, and considering her background, di ba? She comes from the more left progressive side, na medyo malayo sa liberals, medyo malayo sa center. But I think she has done pretty good job last year, no? Especially because one-on-one sila ni Sara on multiple occasion, and of course, walang laban yung isa kasi ito talaga may background in education. But Franz Castro also took the fight to the Dutertes dun sa court case niya kay Digong, and now she's becoming also quite a prominent voice on a whole range of issues, including West Philippine Sea. Do you think, parang her political instincts are pretty interesting, no? And then may sinabi pa siya na mas sweet ang congressional leadership sa kanila ngayon. Alam mo, like, these are the things that you wouldn't expect progressives to admit, di ba? I'm not saying Machiavellian, but I'm saying there's a degree of, I don't know, reasonable, astute pragmatism there from a progressive that it seems to be working, right? I think she's becoming quite a, I mean, definitely given si Riza Hontiveros is one of the big players there from the real opposition. Of course, maraming mga fake opposition, but speaking of the real opposition, I think Franz Castro is emerging as the other pillar here, diba? With essentially Leila de Lima in the middle. So this looks like the triangle of Iron Ladies we're seeing. But Franz Castro is very interesting, right? I mean, what is your take on her? For me, she's the breakout star of 2023.
Well, maganda yun, no? At lalo na progressive, si Congressman Franz Castro. Pero naghahanap pa rin ako ng numbers eh. Wala pang, hindi pa siya lumalabas sa mga surveys. No? Naghahanap pa ako para medyo scientific naman yung magiging nature ng kanyang political scaling up. No? Una, yung grupo naman niya ay bagamat medyo identified sa kaliwa, no? Ay nagiging pragmatic din naman sila eh, no? Halimbawa, nung tumakbo si Grace for president, sinuportahan nila si Grace po, at kasama nila sa slate si Bongbong Marcos, no? So, willing sila mag-share ng entablado with Bongbong at that time, no? That was 2016, no? So, yun yung isa. At ikalawa, bahagi nila ay sumama kay Duterte for 2 years. 'Di ba? Sumama sa cabinet, 3, at mga ibang mga undersecretaries. At for 2 years na very intense na rin yung extrajudicial killings, ay nanatili sila sa Duterte government. So, pag sinabi mong pragmatism, tingin ko hindi naman sa kanila far-fetched na maging pragmatic, no? Tapos ay ngayon mismo si Congressman Franz Castro ang nagsabi na medyo sweet sila ngayon with Speaker Martin Romualdez. Kita naman yung kanilang role eh. Sila yung naging attack dog eh kay Sara before publicly umatake si Speaker Martin, no? Sila yung naglabas ng mga data about the confidential at saka intelligence fund. Hindi ko alam kung saan nila nakuha. Somebody must have given it to them, no? Yung ganito, no? Na hindi ko sinasabi na yung
Ronald, baka ito yung katulad ng mga expose ng SMNI, may nag-text daw na 2 anonymous.
Alam naman natin na sila ay nasa minority at sila ay minority within the minority, pero nakakuha sila ng mga ebidensya na very compelling, no? Kaya from the start naman na nangyayari ito, ay nakikita ko na yung mga dotted lines, no? Nakikita na natin. We weren't born yesterday, no? So nakikita mo na. Na ang tingin ko naman ay generally positive, no? Dahil kailangan naman talaga ma-expose itong mga intelligence confidential fund na ito, no? Kaya positive na nagkakaroon ng bagong dynamism, bagong energy itong progressive movement from different angles. From the group of Congresswoman Franz Castro, from the group of Risa Ontiveros, at everything in between, no? At yung picture nga na nakita natin, no? Sabi ang paliwanag nila, it was just a Christmas party na inorganize ng presidente ng Liberal Party, si Edsel Lagman. Pero alam naman natin that Christmas parties are Christmas parties, no? There are Christmas parties and there are other kinds of parties. Kaya
There are parties that invited tayo, there are parties na hindi tayo
hindi tayo
invited.
imbitado.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yan.
tingin ko habang naguhuntahan tayo rito, different forces are talking. Whether yung kanilang pag-uusap ay magkakaroon ng isang political project or political narrative remains to be seen. Pero I'm sure na mayroong mga nag-uusap. May mga nag-uusap about a big tent, may nag-uusap about a smaller tent, may mga nag-uusap ng unification ng isang broader political spectrum, no? At ang price dito ay who can harness the pink wave na hindi insignificant. No? Who can harness that voluntarism? No? Who can harness that idealism? Na hindi pa naman nawawala, it's still there kahit natalo. No? So tingin ko yan yung pinag-uusapan nila na price dito at para sila yung talagang maging fiscalizer, sila yung maging principled opposition rather than the Dutertes. No? Kaya a lot of people are talking about this. Hindi ko pa sigurado paano ito mag-unfold or if the talks will succeed. But it's happening, no? At mukhang yung mga intentions naman are very good, no? The intentions are very noble. Pero alam naman natin na hindi necessarily yung mga noble aspirations na yan ay nakakaroon ng fruition, no? Let's hope na meron.
Well, I mean, I completely agree with you. Now, let's not, jump ahead of ourselves in the sense that, of course, we have to yet see whether itong mga progressives can break out in terms of electoral appeal, especially for national position. I mean, Riza Ontiveros is so far the only progressive, no? Although not in the same essentially vein, but only progressive has made it to that national level in that sense. And in fact, last year was the only opposition to make it to the national level. So I completely agree with you. In fact, ang point ko naman is, short of that, I think Franz Castro has done everything right now. Considering where she started, she had to do with red tagging, all sorts of different attacks from her, from very powerful camps. Given all the structural limitations and disadvantages that she had, I think she did pretty good, no? And also in terms of her comfort level with dealing with media, pansin mo, nagiging mas komportable na siya sa media, palabiro na siya. So it's parang, she. So I think she's doing everything right. But you're absolutely right. When it comes to electoral power, ibang usapan yan. And actually, kakalabas itong survey ng Okta naman. Hindi naman ito yung kay Malu, pero ito naman Okta. So si Erwin Tulfo na naman ng number 1. But interestingly, actually number 2 is now Bongo. Ang taas ng Bongo dito. Tied with Tito Soto, so that's quite similar. Bato is still also there. Amy Marcos is there. So this survey is kind of music to the ears of the pro Duterte camp kind of people. Pati si Tolentino nakapasok dito, although he has not been doing others. Isko rin nakapasok sa top 10. Lacson is kind of there. So if you look at it, Pacquiao is not doing very well, and then Binay and Lito Lapid, mahirapan sila dito, and it looks like the others are kind of outside. So Lenny is like number 17 or something like that. So it looks like if you look at least some of the surveys, it's a long way to go for the opposition before they can force on the national level.
Meron ding survey ang Pulse Asia, pero commission siya, kaya hindi siya for public consumption, no? I saw a glimpse of it, yung Pulse Asia, no?
So like the glimpse of it, how is it different from, let's say, Okta or I don't know, ano yung kay Malu?
Magkakaiba itong
Sobrang
survey
layo
ng
pa. Pero
ng
Erwin Tulfo
Publicus.
is consistently number
No?
1, di ba?
Yung Publicus magkaiba, si Duterte ang number 1, no? Yung itong Okta iba, no? Yung Pulse iba, halimbawa, merong dalawa sa opposition na nakasama dun sa Pulse, no? Pero ito kasi ay snapshots in time di ba? It's moving
Sorry, number
At
13 pala si Lenny dito, not 17. 17.
ngayon wala pang nagpapakilala Wala, 'di ba? Kung pa ito hindi ko naman sinasabing inaccurate, no? Pero iba pa to Ibang-iba ito doon sa pag meron na nagsabi tatakbo ko, no? Iba na yung magiging complexion nito. Ito ay mga mas top of mind pa lang no? Kaya tingnan natin, no? Tingnan natin, no? Ako mas nagre-rely ako doon sa tatlong survey firms na
Pulse Asia, WSN.
SWS saka yung kay Juni Lailo. Pero si Juni kasi
Lilo Hindi siya
ambassador na lang. Yan kasi ang dami nilang tanong Nakita ko yung mga survey na yan, makakapal.
very very detailed siya, no? Yeah.
Makakapal siya Kaya mas may kwan ako diyan, mas may tiwala ako, no? Tapos itong
Can you give us tidbits dun sa nakita mong Pulse Asia? I mean, I can ask for my own copy, but how is it more encouraging for opposition, if I can put it? Kasi dito sa Octa 1, number 13 si Lenny, barely 13 din si Kiko, barely 13 din si Rojas. So anyone you can think about, Bam is like 14, 18, something like that. So medyo well outside
halimbawa, sa Pulse, pasok si Bam.
Interesting. And of course, I'll go for Pulse Asia anytime over, some others, right?
Pero ayun nga, it's medyo mahirap pa na maglabas ng judgment dito no? Sa mga surveys na ito. At ang mahalaga diyan, sino yung magmamarka? Tingin ko magsisimula namang scale up yung mga kandidato na yan no? Kaya meron na ako nakitang survey na ang taas ni Doc Willie Ong no?
Hindi dun sa iba, ang sobrang layo. But the consistent one is Erwin Tulfo. He's at least number 2, not number 1. That's the one thing.
Pero may mga survey na wala talaga malayo si Francis Tolentino. Dito nga sa sinabi mo sa Okta, pasok si Francis Tolentino. So, pag titingnan mo, maganda na ipaskil sa isang pader yung lahat ng survey at tingnan natin yung mga differences. Mukhang for now, medyo malaki yung differences Maliban siguro sa a few people like Erwin Tulfo, no? Bongo, no? Yun yung mga paano. Pero most of the time ang layo no? Medyo malayo.
So moving forward, what are the things that we want
Pero interesting yung binanggit mo, Richard interesting sinabi mo sa position halimbawa ni Congressman Franz Castro about China. Right. No, na bumanat siya. Right. Kasi minsan yung grupo niya half-hearted no? Dahil ang main focus pa rin nila is the US, no? At ngayon, sabi mo nga, mismo si Franz Castro ay nag-open sa possibility of linking up with other countries, no? Ako nga nabalitaan ko na yung head ng KMU, no, si Bong Labog ay nasa US. Nakapasok sa Washington, nakapunta sa West Wing, no? Dahil yung mga trade unions dito,
may clearance may security clearance.
Inawardan yung mga trade unions dito, yung broad coalition ng mga trade unions, no? Nagsama-sama sila, pumunta sila ron, inawardan sila ng National Security Council, ng Labor Department, inawardan yung mga trade unions dito. At kasama doon, yung head ng KMU. Hindi ko ma-imagine yan in the past, no?
And realignment. That's the unit team.
KMU.
That's the unit team. That's the real new unit team.
At man yan, West Wing. No, nakapasok sa West Wing. No? Nakita ko yung mga pictures nila. I'm sure nakapost yan sa mga Facebook nila, no? Kaya yung sinasabi mo si Franz Castro, naisip ko kagad yung head ng KMU na just last week ay nasa Washington, no? Inawardan ng ka-meeting nila, National Security Advisor, no? Ka-meeting nila ay Minister of Labor, Minister of Trade, no? Mga high ranking, no?
Yeah.
Hindi kasi high ranking no ng mga nami-meet mo, no? Ikaw kasi kasing kabunggo ang siko mo, sila Kissinger, no?
Lang, zoom lang kami.
Di ba? Ang mga prime minister, mga presidents, no? Malayo pa rin sila sa iyo. Pero
hindi naman ako competitive, Ronald. Hindi naman tayo competitive. Basta ma-invite lang tayo sa next Christmas party. Basta ma-invite lang
Hindi to
tayo.
simpleng progressive, ha? Oo. Hindi, mukhang iimbitahin ka na. Ni-request ko na. No? Sa,
Aba.
so, kwanto,
Yung diet ko.
head ng Kilusang Mayo Uno.
Yeah,
No?
I
Head
know.
ng KMU.
Yeah.
No? At hindi to nakatago.
That's a very good point.
Lumabas ito sa newspaper.
That's a very good point.
Kaya hindi ako magugulat dun sa statement ni Franz Castro. No, lahat naman nagbabago ngayon eh. 'Di ba? Imaginein mo na ang nag-offer ng peace process ay si Bongbong Marcos. No?
Right.
At inoffer kila Halandoni at saka sa widow ni Joma Sison, si Julie Sison, no? Medyo malayo pa 'yan, pero at least yung gesture ay very significant, no? A Marcos offering, ang sabi nga ni Vice President Sara Duterte, a deal with the devil, no? Can you imagine that? No, a few years back.
Well, I mean,
may imagine 'yon. So things are changing.
Sabi ko, Ronald, it takes a Duterte to unify everyone, right? Like it took someone like Duterte na sa daming mga never Duterte, like weirdest people are coming together. I mean, like I have found myself in conversations like, why are we even talking to each other? Bakit ka namin inbita? Like, aminin natin, ayaw natin maging province of China. That's the reason why we're here. Like, sabagay, di ba? Sabagay. So, yeah, pasalamat tayo kay Tatay Digong. He has been the greatest source of unity except himself for himself. Right. Thank you so much, Sir Ronald. I know medyo gabi na, medyo pagod ka na. You still have a lot to take care of. Hopefully in the coming weeks or days, whatever, over Zoom, we can arrange for something. But in the meantime, maraming salamat. Happy New Year, Sir Ronald. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
Happy New Year, Big R. No?
Don't worry.
Regards sa yung buhaya, no?
Pag may nanap ako, mas malaki pang buhaya dito ang ganyan, padala ko na sa iyo. Dinosaur level na. Dinosaur level. Thank you very much, sir. God bless.
Happy New Year.
No? Adios. Good luck. Hasta pronto.
Adios.
Amigo. Yeah, very good.